Friends, if I watch super hit movie The Mermaid in English, then you must like this video. If you are visiting our channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Friends, in today's video, the movie we're going to talk about is called Mermaid. We will talk about what this movie is and where you can watch it. All the interesting facts about this movie in today's video. I'm going to tell you. I also going to give you all the information on which I request you friends to watch this video till the end. So let's start the video. The Mermaid, Chinese, is a 2016 Chinese-Hong Kong romantic comedy fantasy film directed, co-written and produced by Chao, which stars Lin Yun, Deng Chao, Zhang Yuqi and Shou Lo. The film tells the story of a playboy businessman, Deng Chao, who falls in love with a mermaid, Lin Yun, sent to assassinate him. The film was released in China on the 8th of February 2016 and broke numerous box office records, including biggest opening day and biggest single-day gross through its 7th day of release. The Mermaid had the biggest opening week of all time in China, where it became the 13th highest-grossing film of all time. A sequel is reported to have completed filming. A treatment for an American remake is being written by Cherry Shevapravattam and Teresa Xiao. Plot: Playboy property tycoon Liu Xuan, Deng Chao, purchases the Green Gulf, a coastal wildlife reserve, for a land reclamation project, and uses sonar technology to get rid of the sea life in the area. Unknown to him, the Green Gulf is the home of merpeople, and the sonar, in addition to heavy pollution, has caused many of them to die or get sick. The few survivors live in an abandoned shipwreck in the Gulf, and want to assassinate Xuan for his deeds. The merfolk send Shan Lin Yun, a beautiful young mermaid who has been trained to walk on her fins and hide among humans, to seduce and kill Xuan. At an extravagant party celebrating Xuan's business success, Shan, pretending to be a dancer, asks him to call her. Xuan, believing that Shan is an escort, calls her number in order to make Ruolin, Zhang Yuqi, his business partner and ex-girlfriend, jealous. Shan attempts to kill Xuan, but all her attempts backfire. Xuan decides to escort Shan back home, and along the way, Shan takes him to a fun fair where she works. While there, Shan shows Xuan there are more important things than money, and Xuan is impressed with Shan's simple, amusing antics. They spend the day together and develop feelings for each other. When Xuan finally takes Shan home, Shan quickly sends Xuan away before her people can kill him. The next day, Xuan takes Shan out on another date and proposes to her. Xuan admits that even though they only met the day before, he already knows that she is the one for him. A conflicted Shan rejects him and admits that she was sent there to kill him. Xuan kisses her, but Ruolin interrupts them. Shan runs out, and as Xuan attempts to follow her, Ruolin stops him. Angered, Xuan demands Ruolin to cancel their business deal. That night, as Shan gets into an argument with the other merpeople, Xuan goes to Shan's house to talk to her. There, he discovers that she and her family are merpeople. Against Shan's wishes, the others capture Xuan and explain that he is killing them with his land development project. Xuan is about to be killed when Shan helps him escape. Octopus, Shou Lo, one of Shan's friends, gets angry and realizes that she has fallen in love with him. Xuan returns home and, after the shock has worn off, decides to investigate the consequences of his project. He turns off the sonar but tells Ruolin that Shan is a mermaid and reveals where the other merpeople live. Ruolin tells Xuan that George, her henchman, also believes in mermaids and has been trying to find one. She is angered at Xuan's lack of affection and vows to kill Shan. Xuan tries to stop them, but they dismiss him and proceed to the abandoned ship. The merpeople are attacked by Ruolin's mercenaries, and many of them are killed. The merpeople soon realize that the sonar had been turned off and return to the ocean. As Shan attempts to escape, she is shot and forced onto land. Xuan, using a jetpack, arrives in time to retrieve a badly injured Shan. As he is carrying her to the ocean, Ruolin angrily shoots him. But George stops her before she could injure him any further. Shan insists that Xuan leave her, but he continues to carry her to safety. The police arrive, and while Ruolin and George get arrested, Xuan collapses from his wounds. 3 years later, a student arrives at Xuan's home to thank him for setting up a scholarship for research into environmental protection. The student asks Xuan whether merpeople are real, and if the story that he fell in love with a mermaid is true, but Xuan denies it. Xuan then introduces the student to his wife, Lucy, who is actually Shan in a human disguise. Xuan and Shan encourage the student to travel and explore the world. The screen then goes to Xuan and Shan swimming in the ocean along with the other merpeople. Cast Deng Chao as Lu Xuan, Lin Yun as Shan, the film's titular character, the mermaid. Shou Lo as Octopus. Zhang Yuqi as Roland Xuan's business partner, the film's main antagonist. Kris Wu as Long Zhenfei, a student who sets an interview with Xuan. Lu Zhengyu, Fan Shujin Li, Shang Zheng, Bo Xiaolong, Pierre Bourdeaux, Ivan Kodak as George Kong, Lian Shen, Bike. Qiu Qi Ling, cameo. Tin Kai Man, Sui Hark, Wen Zhang, Lem Zhang, Yang Ning Zhang, Mei Jiro Li. Production inspirations. The story was inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale of The Little Mermaid, in which a mermaid loves a human, but Chao wanted to make it a modern interpretation. I saw great creative space and development potential from the story. In another interview, Chao said, "I'm actually a big fairy tale fan. All my previous titles can be understood as fairy tales. In the world of fairy tales, the evil are punished and the good see a happy ending. I buy that idea." Another inspiration comes from Chao's own childhood experiences. "I lived near the sea at a young age, and I looked at the sea every day. I was frightened and curious. I was very nervous when I swam in the sea and felt there might be something hidden below. I've been fascinated with the Mermaid story since then, and I felt I could do the film, creating the concept 6 years ago and beginning to write the script 4 or 5 years ago." Casting male lead and villain Stephen Chow picked Deng Chao to play the film's lead male character Lu Xuan, even though Shou Lo, who played Octopus in the film and had previously worked with Chao in Journey to the West, Conquering the Demons, was also in the consideration. Chao explained that he ultimately chose Deng Chao for the lead role due to his overwhelming popularity in China, and he also had confidence in Deng's comedic talent, having observed his performances in the slapstick-style hit, The Breakup Guru. Zhang Yuqi first worked with Chao in CJ7 and gained fame from that role. They both later fell out in a highly publicized contractual dispute, but the personal relationship between them was not intense, and Zhang once defended Chao when he was under personality attacks from former disgruntled collaborators and employees. When Zhang got a call from Chao, she was in a foreign country while her car broke down. She said yes to join the cast to play the film's villain, and described the role as a personal challenge. The Mermaid. The selection of the female lead character, the mermaid Shan, was one of the most publicized parts of the filming process. As reported on Oriental Daily News, the then 18-year-old actress Lin Yun was selected by Chao and his casting team from over 120,000 participants due to her demure personality in a talent contest held in Shenzhen. Reportedly, throughout the 13 casting training period, Lin Yun caught the casting team's eyes for being calm and collected, while other participants tried their hardest to steal the spotlight. According to Lin Yun, she entered the audition at her friend's recommendation and has always admired Stephen Chow. The mass audition was from 31st of July, 15th of August 2014, when everyone could submit the CVs to the website for online votes and for the casting team to choose. A total of 43 contestants were selected after the first round, and then were shortlisted to 13 finalists to participate in the final contest held on 15th of September 2014. Among them, 6 were chosen to continue in the audition process. Lin Yun eventually won the role of the film. Filming The Mermaid began filming in October 2014, with shoots taking place in Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Dongguan, and in Beijing. Before the filming, confirmed cast members include Deng Chao, Shou Lo, Zhang Yuqi, and newcomer Lin Yun was from a talent contest held specifically for The Mermaid in Shenzhen. The film's production was a well-kept secret. A major set was built up in a large factory, which was used once for glass production, in Shenzhen as the shelter of mermaids in the film. 22. Reports say that most of the scenes in his latest film have been shot more than 50 times to meet his exacting standards. Chao has even personally coached most of the cast on acting, from lead stars Deng, Zhang Yuqi, and Lin Yun, to Shou Lo, 16, as well as other cast members. To get the best result, Chao once let Deng Chao and Lin Yun eat 150 roasted chickens for shooting a scene. Lin Yun said, Chao has never shouted at her and would often watch out for her. Playing the role of a mermaid, Lin often had to put on the safety harness when filming her underwater scenes. As she was not used to it, she often incurred injuries all over her body, and on one occasion, Yun nearly became disfigured. Filming wrapped up in Beijing on the 2nd of February 2015, and then went into post-production, adding visual effects by Ken Law and his different digital design Litted, as well as by Macrograph Litted from South Korea, both of which worked for Chao's previous film Journey to the West, Conquering the Demons. Notable cameos. Directors Tsui Hark and Stephen Chow collaborated for the first time in The Mermaid. The two film directors had never worked together during their careers, despite each spanning 3 decades. Tsui Hark said they had discussed collaboration for years, but Chao was so busy that Tsui had to wait until then. At a press conference in Beijing to promote The Mermaid, it was revealed that director Tsui Hark and actor Kris would have cameo appearances in the film. Other notable cameos include actor Wen Zhang, who was in Chao's previous blockbuster Journey to the West, Conquering the Demons, and the comedian duo Kong Lianshen and Bai K. White K. from the popular web series Surprise and the 2015 fantasy comedy film Surprise. Marketing. Stephen Chow was on a 20-city tour in China to promote The Mermaid, including many fan meetings. 9 companies, including China Film Group, Heihei Shanghai Pictures and Enlight Media, invested in the production, while 4 companies, Star Overseas, Heihei Pictures, Max Times Culture, and Union, Beijing Pictures, collaborated in terms of marketing and promotion. On the 24th of May 2016, Stephen Chow, Deng Chao, and Lin Yun joined Chinese government ministers in Wellington for a screening of The Mermaid as the opening of the New Zealand China Film Week at New Zealand's National Museum to bring cultural exchange between the China and New Zealand filmmaking communities. Trailers and hunger marketing. There were 3 trailers released before The Mermaid's debut. In the first trailer, the tycoon, played by Deng Chao, tells police that he has met and been kidnapped by a mermaid. In its final 90-second trailer released on 31st January 2016, it showed the love story between Liu Xuan and Shan, the 2 main characters, as well as the killing and hunting of the mermaids. An interesting twist and a historical link was seen in the second trailer, where there was a clue hinting at legendary Chinese mariner Zheng Hei's voyages in the 15th century. However, much of the storyline was kept a secret, and the trailers didn't reveal too much, as the marketing team held the belief to make the trailers less amazing than the actual movie, in order to lower the hype and expectation, and so that when audiences saw the film, they would be surprised. Chao also adopted hunger marketing, this time to maintain high secrecy and mystery by not letting anyone, including theater managers and film critics, see the film in advance at any premieres until it actually opened in theaters. Theme song and music videos. The theme song of The Mermaid is titled Invincible. The song was written and composed by Stephen Chow and performed by Deng Chao. Film score composer Raymond Wong, Shaolin Soccer, Kung Fu Hustle, CJ7 and Journey to the West Conquering the Demons made the arrangement, while the music producer Patrick Tsang, who produced records for Fei Wong, Eason Chan and more, mixed it. The song also has a music video in which Deng Chao sings in studio, while Stephen Chow, Kris and Lin Yun appear to sing the song too. Their vocals are never heard, as there is only one vocal track by Deng. Adam Cheng, Lin Yun, Stephen Chow, and Karen Mok appeared at a press conference in Beijing on the 18th of January 2016 to release the promotional song, You Are the Best in the World, for the film. The song is Cheng and Mok's cover of the popular old song from the 1983 TV series, The Legend of the Condor Heroes. The music video of You Are the Best in the World shows a duet by Adam Cheng and Karen Mok, with Stephen Chow adding background vocals. Finance. A rumored deal of a 2 billion yuan box office guarantee was widely reported by the media. The deal would enable Chow and the film's producers to receive a huge chunk of advance income before box office grosses actually hit 2 billion yuan in China. If the gross eventually surpasses that figure, the distributors will take priority in collecting dividends. 34. Yang Wei, chairwoman of Heihei Pictures, admitted there was such deal, but she would not reveal the exact number since the details were covered by a secrecy clause in the agreement. The box office guarantee model has existed for more than a decade now in the Chinese film industry. Chao's last film, Journey to the West, Conquering the Demons, along with many other recent blockbuster comedies such as Breakup Buddies, also used this kind of approach. It is said, the model offers not only risk control, securing the production party's interests, but also gives distributors priority in financing blockbusters to be, as well as showing their confidence in the film's future box office performance. I can confirm Heihei Pictures is the principal party of the deal and paid all the box office guarantees, Yang said. Milestone posters. As The Mermaid has become the highest-grossing film in China, a new poster was released to mark the milestone. Release. The Mermaid was released in China on the 8th of February 2016. In the US, it was given a limited release by Sony Pictures on the 19th of February across 35 theaters. In the Philippines, the film was also given a limited release in theaters on the 11th of May 2016, simply titled Mermaid, with Columbia Pictures Philippines and Edco Films as distributors. Box office. Buoyed by anticipation from fans as well as having the advantage of opening a day after the Chinese New Year, The Mermaid earned an opening day record of $40.9 million. At the time, this was the biggest opening day for a Chinese film and the second biggest of all time, there behind the opening day of Furious 7. US $1 million came from midnight screening. The film set a record for the fastest film to earn CNY 1 billion, $152.4 million, doing so within 4 days of release, and also recorded the largest 5-day gross receipts, $187.3 million. Through its 7-day opening week, it grossed $275.1 million, breaking records for the biggest 7-day gross and the biggest opening week of all time in China, breaking the record of Furious 7, and the third biggest of all time, behind Hollywood films Star Wars, The Force Awakens, $390.8 million, and Jurassic World, $296.2 million. It grossed $120.4 million alone for the 3-day opening weekend, Friday to Sunday, the biggest of all time in China, and the second biggest 3-day gross behind the Saturday to Monday gross of Furious 7. This, along with From Vegas to Macau 3, $119 million, and The Monkey King 2, $116 million, helped the Chinese box office to break the Guinness World Record for the biggest box office week, with $548 million from 8 to 14 February 2016. The previous record was set in the week of 26th of December 2015, 1st or January 2016, when Star Wars The Force Awakens led the box office with $261 million, and the box office that week totaled $529.6 million. The previous biggest Chinese box office week had been set in July 2015, when Monster Hunt, Pancake Man, and Monkey King, Hero is Back, combined for a then total $253 million during their first week. On the 19th of February 2016, 12 days after release, the film became the highest-grossing film in China with CNY 2.45 billion, overtaking the previous record holder Furious 7. In its second weekend, its receipts fell by 53% to $55.9 million from 155,704 screenings for a 14-day total of $419.2 million. 55. On the 26th of February, it was announced that The Mermaid had grossed 3 billion yuan, $459 million, on its 19th day since release on Chinese mainland. It was the first film ever to launch the 3 billion yuan club in China's film industry and set a new milestone. On the 5th of March, it became the first film to gross over $500 million in China and the 7th overall in a single territory. The Mermaid grossed 3.39 billion yuan, US $525 million in China. Due to its success, its theatrical release in China was extended to June 2016. The film also found success outside of China, scoring the largest opening day of all time for a Chinese film both in Malaysia, $838, and in Singapore, $528. It also opened in first place in Malaysia, with $3.8 million, ahead of Deadpool, and in Vietnam with $2 million. In Singapore, it debuted in second place with $1.6 million, 61. In Hong Kong, The Mermaid broke the local opening day record with HK.96 million $638,352 doors, surpassing the previous record holder Kung Fu Hustle's H4.42 million, which was also directed by Chao 63. As of 3rd of April 2016, it had grossed $7.69 million there. In the US, the film grossed $985,000 in its opening weekend, at an average of $28,144 per theater, making it the biggest opening weekend to date for a limited-release Chinese-language film. The Apple Daily, however, reported that Taiwan would not be releasing The Mermaid. Taiwanese quota regulations at the time permitted only 10 Chinese mainland films to be released in Taiwan in any given year. Chinese mainland movies were required to draw lots. Only those with numbers 1 to 10 received permission. The Mermaid drew number 44. This was the first time that Taiwan audiences missed a Stephen Chao film, and fans protested against Taiwan's cultural ministry about the matter. Critical response. Response to the film was generally positive. It earned a 95% score on Rotten Tomatoes based on 37 critic reviews. The website's critical consensus reads, "The Mermaid requires a willingness to embrace the strange, but backs up its wacky flights of fancy with a big-hearted fairy tale and a resonant message." It earned a 69% score on Metacritic. Glenn Kenny of the New York Times noted that The Mermaid is no ordinary fantastical rom-com, encompassing as it does weaponized sea urchins, incredibly delicious roasted chickens, man-octopus self-mutilation, and other comic oddities. Bilge A. Beery of New York Magazine praised the film, saying that it's amazing how distinctive and strange Mermaid manages to be, especially given the highly derivative concept, how personal it feels, amid all the absurdist go-for-broke humor. It deserves to be seen. Dylan Kickham of Entertainment Weekly thought the film was at its best when embracing the ridiculous, no-holds-barred, farcical comedy that Chao had become known for, thanks to films like Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer. From the start and throughout the middle of the movie, Chao and his actors present a full-force farce. Simon Abrams of RogerEbert.com noted that, "It doesn't matter if you don't like subtitles. It doesn't matter if you've never heard of the director. It doesn't matter if you've never seen a Chinese movie in your life. It will make you laugh. Guaranteed." South China Morning Post's film critic Ben Sin gave the film 3 out of 5 stars and described it as a solid dramedy with heart and, more importantly, a message. Though he opined that, being Chao's second film where he stayed behind the camera, it has to be disappointing to Hong Kongers. James Marsh of Screen International said that actress Lin brings a delightfully quirky demeanor to her literal fish out of water, and the occasionally hokey CGI only adds to the film's oddball charm. Zhang Rui of China.org.cn commented that the film has a simple and strong message to deliver. Love can transcend race and other barriers. You could hardly expect to see such a pure fairy tale and such a clean theme in blockbusters for a long time, but Chao has done it with a pure and childlike heart. Elizabeth Kerr of The Hollywood Reporter said that The Fantastical Mermaid delivers its message without a shred of subtlety and is unapologetic about it, but with considerable charm, wit, and darkness to make up for it. MovieExclusive.com gave the film 4 out of 5 stars and said that the film is a complete package, a stellar cast which delivers fun performances, a decent story about environmentalism, and most importantly, a barrel full of laughs, guaranteed to entertain the whole family. It doesn't matter if you don't like subtitles. It doesn't matter if you've never heard of the director. It doesn't matter if you've never seen a Chinese movie in your life. It will make you laugh. Guaranteed. The Mermaid is a romantic comedy fantasy from actor-director-producer Stephen Chao, Kung Fu Hustle, Shaolin Soccer, about a billionaire who falls in love with a mermaid. Paul Rubin's description of Pee Wee Herman as a simple thing to hang a bunch of stuff on could apply to this movie. It's a gag machine with gears that never stop turning. Chao's broad, at times bawdy sense of humor is tempered by a keen eye for composition, and his comic timing makes even the goofiest, broadest jokes work. In fact, nearly all of the jokes of every kind work. If you'd told me this in advance of my first viewing of the film, on opening night in a Manhattan theater, I wouldn't have believed it. But the sound of a sold-out audience laughing from start to finish is the surest metric of whether a comedy works. This movie works. The plot. Jerkish tycoon Liu Xuan, Deng Chao, has made a ton of money off of sonar technology that incidentally murders all nearby sea life. This includes an understandably pissed-off community of mer people. led by spiteful octopus Sholuo and naive mermaid Shan, Lin Yun. Since Lu Xuan has a weakness for the ladies, Shan is tasked with avenging her fellow crypti. The Mermaid has many hallmarks of Chao's working-class egotist makes good style of comedy. Chao may not be playing the apparently not-so-exaggerated version of his petulant public person here, as he often does. But Liu Xuan can easily be read as Chao's stand-in. He's rich, but low-class, in the words of Shan's spiteful mega-rich rival Ruolan, Yuqi. Flashy clothes and crib-style parties, complete with poolside babes and decades-old wine, are the hallmarks of Liu Xuan's nouveau-rich lifestyle. So when Shan shows up, wearing smeared makeup and ugly rubber weights to disguise her fins, everybody knows that Liu Xuan will still chase after her. He's a phony, as is made apparent by his paste-on pencil mustache. Tony Stark he ain't. But that's part of his character's wisp-thin appeal. He's instantly recognizable as a fake who nevertheless wants to make good. Still, while Chao's appropriately exaggerated performance makes Liu Xuan a likable anti-hero, Lin's turn as Shan is the film's secret weapon. A skilled supporting cast of comedians, including Shan's fellow sea people, all earn laughs, but Lin has the unenviable task of making you believe that Shan is as awkward as she seems. You have to buy the notion that Shan's sincere when she flashes Xu Luan and he insists that he get a better look at her wild charms. Lin's apparent sincerity works wonders, since Chao's sense of humor always tends to be more extreme than you expect. I've seen a fair number of Chao films, but his sexual or violent humor always takes me by surprise, as in a police sketch routine involving a merman penis and a routine about roast chickens and cunnilingus. Lin thankfully makes you believe that such a naive woman could stumble into a romance with a man she wants to assassinate. Lin's not a victim of Chao's dirty mind, she's an essential collaborator. You may be wondering, if this movie is so bizarre, so wonderful, so funny, why haven't I heard of it? The answer to that question is infuriating. Chao's Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle were international hits, and he's a mega-star in his native Hong Kong. Last weekend, The Mermaid shattered domestic box office records in China and became the #2 movie in the world, after Deadpool. Its American release is an afterthought for one reason: mismanagement by its American distributor, Sony Corporation of America. In theory, the film is distributed by Asia Releasing, a subsidiary that handles the release of Asian films in the US and Canada, but the print I saw had a plain old Sony logo in front of it. DS by seducing and killing him. Sony ought to be ashamed for keeping such a good film from American viewers who aren't already part of the Chinese diasporic community. 3 of the 4 Sony representatives I spoke with didn't even know that the company was releasing The Mermaid. The 4th rep told me that his company hadn't thought to set up advanced screenings for US press, or even send out an email alerting them to the film's impending release. I was told that the film had already gotten positive reviews, all pegged to its release in Asia, and that Sony didn't expect it to interest many people, outside of Chinese or Chinese-American film fans. This is the sad reality of foreign films in America today. The domestic marketplace is so hopelessly biased in favor of English-language films, most of them produced in the United States, that the second most popular movie in the world is treated as if it doesn't even exist. Prove Sony's ignorant assumptions wrong. Go see this movie. Distributed by Beijing and Light Pictures China Film Group Corporation. Release date February 8, 2016. Running time 954 minutes. Countries China, Hong Kong. Language Mandarin. Budget $60.72 million. Box office US $538 million. So guys, this is their review of the Mermaid movie and some information about it. How do you like our today's video? Please let us know by commenting, and if you like this video, please like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.